Royal Navy really doesn't have its best and brightest out here today, huh? Welcome back to Uboat, y'all. It's a new year for us, but also in-game because it is now 1943. Due to entirely foreseeable circumstances, the Axis isn't looking too hot now. But Captain Gosling is still doing his part in the war effort. So I installed the Sinking Physics Overhaul mod, and I may not be a ship expert, but I don't think this is historically accurate. It gets even funnier. I surfaced near the destroyer, and not only did they spot me, they started shooting at my sub with their main battery. Maybe I'm just a coward, but personally, I would have simply evacuated the ship by now instead of risking this happening. No lifeboats? British sailors will really do anything to not go back to the UK, I guess. Once I'm back in France, I get another mission to meet with a Japanese sub, and as soon as I start the trip, I see an all too common sight. Air patrols harassing our U-boats. Any U-boat surfacing in this area during the daytime is asking for problems.
Here it comes, boys. Nice serving with your lads.
While Captain Gosling has been lucky to survive so many run-ins with the RAF, a lot of other crews can't say the same. The airplane fortunately left us alone, and I had an easy trip to the rendezvous point. I hand off the goods to Japanese sailors, and I'm told to do another patrol in the Black Pit area. The crew hears a moderately sized convoy passing through soon, and I move to intercept it. I fired a torpedo, but I whiffed the ship so hard. The convoy is all alerted now, but as I'm looking out on the sea, I realize that this convoy has no escorts. So there's not even a reason to stay submerged. All these ships are at my mercy. With my ammunition almost completely depleted, I decided to leave the area with only a few coasters escaping from me. I was content with the work I did in this patrol and planned to just sail in circles till I got enough kilometers to go home. Soon afterward, I spot a nearly sunken ship. I know I didn't do that, but I can at least finish it off. Wait, what? Found the guy who did it, but did this ship really need 4 torpedoes? Don't think this is necessary, guys. Like, oh my god! Yeah, I'm not surprised there's nobody on those lifeboats. Not even 2 hours later, and there is another nearly sunken ship. This time, there is no AI sub to finish it off, so I get the honors. Is this a war crime? Am I Libati? I don't even know what to say. I didn't think that was possible. Well, now that they saw me attempt a war crime, I definitely can't let them go, or else they'll besmirch the good name of Captain Gosling. Got a Steam achievement for sinking this. Me at the Nuremberg trials. Your Honor, my client was simply trying to 100% the game. So, I'm just doing circles in the Atlantic when I'm jump scared with the ship spotted notification. I was going out of my way to avoid contact just to sail right into the sight of a big convoy. And this one has escorts, so I gotta get out of here. What even are the odds of this happening? I got the propaganda spin for the boys back home. Captain Gosling, so good at finding allied ships, he doesn't need to use a hydrophone. High Command gives me another mission to drop off a spy in Ireland. As I leave La Rochelle though, I can guess that the allies are getting real tired of me leaving this port with the fact that they've sent double the planes of the last raid. But they're delusional if they think 13 planes can intimidate the Captain Gosling into cowering in port. I'm gonna fight my way out. Oh my. Jesus Christ. Leave me alone. How many shots can these ships take? So, think I'm gonna go ahead and cower in port for a bit. The RAF is really on me, but fortunately, I can defend myself enough to get back into the sub-pen. I lost 3 crewmen, but I did shoot down at least 4 planes, so really, I traded positively here. Still a W for Captain Gosling. After taking a day to recover from the port strike, the U-boat was on its way to Ireland again. Going through the Celtic Sea, we heard many ships passing nearby, but I don't want to deal with a convoy. But I did hear a single merchant ship, and since it was literally on the way to our objective, it was practically calling to me. As I got closer though, I see that the ship is flying the Spanish flag. But this Spanish ship seems to be really off course. When I get on the ship, they have the gall to claim that they're going to Lisbon. Like, okay dude, maybe that'd work on someone who'd never seen a map before. Hope you enjoy floating around the Celtic Sea. Approaching this landing site is so cursed because there are so many shoals around here. I'm basically playing Minesweeper trying to path my way around them. But some of them are so small I can't see it until it's too late. I have to surface around here, and good thing I came at night or else that plane would have definitely saw me. I just have to dodge the Irish motorboats, drop off the spy, and get out of here. Unfortunately, the Allies aren't going to make that last part easy. When the sun rises, I run into the Allied response to my mission. They sent 3 destroyers and 2 planes to find me. And I'm convinced the Allies had to have known it was me doing this mission because this is one hell of a response for 1 submarine. But you know what? If they want to fight me so bad, I'll give them a fight. The destroyers soon started steaming fast towards me, but with the homing torpedoes, I'd make sure they wouldn't come close. Now, I just had to surface to clear the skies of these pests. They spotted me pretty fast, and I hopped on the AA gun to prepare for their attack.
There's no point in saying good morning. because it certainly is not one.
They scrambled more warships to patrol around the area, but I was able to get around them. They got close to finding me once, but I was able to bring the sub back to La Rochelle. That spy better be doing something really important in Ireland because we went through a lot to drop him off there. Now, my crew needs a much deserved vacation. Once they're back, I pick up a simple patrol and soon set off. I'll admit, I got a bit careless by staying on the surface in the Bay of Biscay, but I was not expecting to be spotted in the middle of the night by a plane. Guys, word of advice, make sure you have someone checking in on the radar detector at night so this doesn't happen to you. The plane flew around us a bit longer, but I was ready on the AA gun so it didn't try another pass. After another day to recover, I set out again, learning my lesson and staying underneath the ocean. Once I arrived at the patrol area, I pretty quickly found a target and started moving to intercept the large convoy. It's been so long since I've done a regular convoy attack that this feels weird to me, but I know the drill. The crew of the Kootenay Park is about to have a very rude wake-up call. When it comes to escaping, it's a lot easier now since I know about the Shadow Zone. If you guys don't know what that is, basically if you dive beneath 260 meters, there is a change in the temperature of the water in the ocean that somehow shields your sub from being detected by sonar. And if you throw down a sonar decoy too, the destroyers literally have no chance to find you, so I can slip away. Now that I'm back in port, I have an idea for what I want to do for my next mission. The British may feel like they're turning the war against us in the Atlantic, but I want to remind them that they'll never be safe on the seas. So I asked Luftwaffe to do me a favor and scout out the port of Portsmouth. This is one of the UK's largest ports, so a successful attack there would be a huge propaganda victory for us and strike fear into workers at every port in the UK. But that's a lot easier said than done. Passing through the English Channel is difficult, but passing through to get to an already very busy port is gonna really test me with the amount of ships I'm gonna have to avoid. May 4th, 1943, I started my journey to Portsmouth. As long as I stay under the surface, I can avoid most plane patrols and use my hydrophone to listen out for patrolling warships. As I get closer, the sheer amount of patrols I had to avoid was increasing, and close calls were inevitable. Patience was a virtue here. I had to slowly move towards the port, and when too many ships got close, I had to play dead on the seafloor. It only took 2 days, but finally, on May 6th, I was just outside Portsmouth. In addition to the darkness of the setting sun, there was also a thick fog coming in to cover me. I can't see anything through this periscope, yet my character is like, yep, that's definitely a merchant ship right there. I guess Captain Gosling has developed X-ray vision. Eventually, I reached the entrance to the port, and of course there are ships in every direction. I can't go around the submarine net because there are ships to the left, leaving me no choice but to chance going over it, which of course means I'm gonna have to emerge from the water. You may think that's a really stupid idea, but I have the darkness and fog on my side. And you know what? It might be so stupid that the British wouldn't even think it's a possibility and thus a way to counter it. At first, I just tried to rise just enough where only my deck was visible, but it wasn't good enough to pass it. The sub was caught in the net, so I had to go all the way, fully raising the sub and making myself as visible as possible to the British, but I guess Britain's finest was in the pub right now. There is a docked corvette further in port, and despite not a single man being visible on it, every little move I make, it's picking me up on their sonar. Who would even be looking at the sonar now? I had to rack my brain a bit, but I figured out how to escape. I lowered the sub by 5 more meters, and the seafloor gave me just enough sonar protection for me to get out of its detection range. Now it finally reached my prize. I could see the dock ships, but fortunately no big warships. Still, I had a bunch of good targets right in front of me, and it was time to take aim.
Peter. Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Gegnerfahrt. Nope.
The attack had gone well enough, but now I have to get home. The corvette I passed earlier was on the hunt for me, but my homing torpedo was on the hunt for them, so it evened out. Somehow I missed a ship that was docked in the port, so I repositioned the sub to shoot at it. I had to use my back torpedo to shoot at it, which was a homing torpedo, and for reasons I don't understand, it homes in on the half-dead tanker. I sailed towards the mouth of the port, and it wasn't looking pretty, not because of the corvette waiting for me to leave, but more the merchant ship that somehow beached itself on the docks. There was also that merchant ship partially blocking the way, and I had to take care of that. Things are heating up. Another warship is coming over to deal with me. And you're probably wondering how I'm even going to get out of this one. Well, you see, sometimes you don't need a plan, and things will just work out for you. Although, I really need someone to explain what happened here. Bruh, there's no way Karl Dönitz just waved his hand and made those two corvettes disappear. Two new corvettes appeared as I passed the submarine net, but it didn't end well for them. At least leaving Portsmouth was a lot easier than infiltrating it, since I could afford to be less careful. The British had no idea where I could be as I slipped into the English Channel and sailed back to La Rochelle. Once I'm back, the port commander gives me a status update on the Battle of the Atlantic. To summarize, it's bleak, but we gotta keep trying. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Captain Gosling's U-Boat Adventures. Y'all should know the drill. Remember to keep liking the video so I know you'll be interested in more, and let me know some other places you'd like to see me visit around the world. We're in full sandbox mode at this point, so I'm going to try to create interesting missions and challenges for y'all to enjoy. Shout out to my alumni for supporting my channel on Patreon, and remember to subscribe because there will be more good content to come for you soon. I hope to see you again. Bye bye.